I'm just throwing that in the bin. That's gone in the bin. You know, Rasmus Højlund party. What did I tell you guys? Relax. Erik ten Hag is cooking. All we was missing for this 5-course meal, since Weghorst couldn't finish his dinner, was a prolific striker. And I believe that Rasmus Højlund signing a 5-year contract is going to lead the helms for Erik ten Hag and the new dawn of Manchester United. Oh my God, guys, I am so speechless and giddy. It's been sleepless nights following up. It's been doing constant reporting. And today, when I decided to take a day off, not to stream, it got to happen yesterday. It just had to happen today. Mick Ruby never gets a rest, does he? No. It's my brother's birthday, of course, and I was on the barbecue, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. Rasmus Højlund is red, and I just had to come and just celebrate with my community, my beautiful community, which is about over 100 of you in the chat room already, waiting to party. This is going to be a call-in show today. Jarvis Cocker is, broke his holiday just to call in today. Pappi's going to call in today. I'm going to share the link as well. But before we rock this party, guys, you know what to do already. You know what's coming here. You see those little fingers here? As what I always say, you want to burn calories, extra calories. Let's warm up, let's stretch, and just do this. Press the like. There, join if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't, because we are ready to rock. Let's get ready to rumble, people. Let's do this.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on MUFC Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, good evening, people. Good evening. Do you see the smile on my face? I would like to see the smile on your face too, because Rasmus Højlund is a done deal. It is here we run, here we sprint. It's been first, here we crawl. And then Fabrizio came in and say, here we go. But Mick Ruby's got to come out and say, here we jog, here we run, but now it's here we sprint. Absolutely scintillating. Absolutely scintillating. I don't really care how much money we paid for Rasmus Højlund. Don't really care. All I care is what we're missing. We're missing that prolific striker. We do miss that, as alluded before, we had a Weghorst, that horse bolted. He was invited for many 5-course meals, but he could never even come to the entree. He couldn't finish his dinner, not even his dessert. And here we have a Rasmus Højlund. You might say that, yeah, hang on, Mick, he's only 20 years of age. Well, I'm not going to put much pressure on the kid, but, 20 years of age, but, look at his career. Look at how he started. It's been skyrocketed, elevated in the past 3 years from when he first started to play for FC Copenhagen, and then went immediately to the, what's it, Graz, was it? And he spent 1 year at Graz, and oopsie daisy, went to Atalanta. And then 1 season later, he's a red. He is a red. Now, people say he only scored 9 goals, Mick, in Serie A. But listen, bear in mind, just look at the stats. How many games did he play? Not more than 20. So goal tally of 9 goals in 20 games does tell you much that this guy is a hungry striker. He wants to finish all the 5-course meal. And if you look at how he did in the Danish international team, 6 goals out of 6. That's astute, isn't it? But you know what? I'm absolutely over the moon, and I think a lot of you are in the moon. In the moon? Are you in the moon? I don't know if you are in the moon, but you know what? I think it is time. It is time to give a massive applause for the recruitment team. I mean, we're talking about John Murtaugh, we're talking about Eric. Now, congratulations, Eric, for getting your man over the line, but also no other than our chief negotiator, Matt Hargreaves. We got to applaud. And also, hang on a second, I know this sound. Do you recognize this sound? I think it's Jarvis trying. He just been speeding. He's just canceled his holiday. He just pulled in with his Tesla into the car. Should we let him in? Jarvis, are you ready? Get into the stream, Jarvis. Get inside.
Hello, people. So we got Højlund. Woohoo!
Yeah, we got 𝒊𝒂𝒚, Danish
So
dynamite.
now I just have to apologize for everybody for the PTSD. Mick, you were right all the time. I was wrong, but it's the way it is. It's my opinion, your opinion, and you were right. So kudos to Mick.
Jarvis, you know what you owe me.
I don't know. What do I owe you?
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I was right, Jarvis. And guys, you know, I'm not here to tell you I'm right or wrong, but my purpose is to provide a voice of reasoning. And for all of you that's been tuning in, following this channel, just being cool, calm, composed, and tell you, like, you don't stress too much. Things are gonna be good. And now, as said, like, no, we are cooking a 5-course meal, and we all invited. Ten Hag is inviting everyone to the dinner table, and the main finisher looks like it's gonna be Rasmus Højlund with another striker as well, 100%. 100%. So thank you, Jarvis, for coming in and supporting. I know you're on holiday. I know you with the family, and you probably had an argument with your wife. So I gotta come on. It's Rasmus Højlund. It's Rasmus Højlund. I know you're scheduled for dinner, but this
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You didn't. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
Thank you, Miss Jarvis, for letting us having Miss Cocker, if you're listening, thank you so much for letting us borrowing your beautiful, wonderful husband. We missed you, sir. We missed you. But guess what? Who else missed, right? Who do we miss here?
Who?
Are we missing something? Are we totally alone in this room, or?
I don't know.
I don't know. You tell me. What are we missing, Jarvis? Something called V something? Start with V?
V-A? And
A?
R?
And R? Yes. The VER room. Guys, you all came to the party. Of course, we're going to shout you out. Of course, you've been all part of this journey. So who do we have to party with? Like, you know, who's going to pour up the drinks? We have Jamie Wayne in the house. Big up Jamie Wayne. I need August 3 players. Okay, well, come on. That's an old one. Alien Tenno is in the house. RJ is also in the house. Enoch Banda is also something that I've never seen before. Good evening, Enoch. No idea how to celebrate this one, but I'll let one come in a flower of love. Lots of love to you. And I wish Greenwood to be back in the squad. We're going to talk about that as well, Enoch. We're going to talk about, but you know, this is the time where we are going to sort of shout out everyone. Jamie Van Mick got another signing, right? Yeah, I did. Didn't I? I didn't I? Unfortunately, like as today, it's not about who is gonna to be first. It's just my circumstances today. It's my brother's birthday. I was away from my house and was a little bit late, to be honest. So we do have a super chat that just flew in as well, which is Alien Tenno, Peter saying Agent 47, Højlund, boom, G, glory, Manchester United. Yeah. You know what? It is almost impossible to be plugged into the matrix, Alien Tenno. Like, you know, I do have to sleep. I do have to, spend time with family. It's Saturday, you know what I mean? And it's my brother's birthday. And out of all these days when I'm having the day off, it has to happen. But I was quick enough off the blocks, wasn't I?
So how old is your brother now? Is he older brother or younger?
He's my older brother. But I'm actually, I feel like I'm the older brother to him. You know what? So he's just not happy at the moment because he's a Scouser supporter. So
That's the worst.
that's the worst. That is the
Yeah.
worst.
Well, you got to send him congratulations from Jarvis.
Yeah, I will do that. Alien Tennis, I woke up this morning feeling fine like red wine. I got United on my mind. Something tells me I'm in for something goody, 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 goody. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. All the way from South Carolina, Jarvis Cocker. Lordy, you feel something is happening?
All the way.
I've been
All the
telling
way.
you. I've been telling you. Now, hopefully, I cured your PTSD because now we're going for Amrabat, was RG saying, Moroccan shark bull. Yes, 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 yes. This is an extra because all we wanted to do is to celebrate with our community. We have also George Best. Where is all the experts that were saying only 100 million to spend? Exactly. You stole my idea. Yeah, that's what I had that written down. So good on you. United are rocking this window. Yeah. Listen, let's park that. Let's discuss this, George Best. Listen, I was just thinking the same. I was thinking, well, listen, every single outlet every year saying, oh, United only have 100 million to spend. I keep telling you, how much did we spend last window? 250. How much have we spent now already? Jarvis? Oh,
Well, I don't know. 75 today. We spent 55 on Mount,
quick math.
and how much on Onana?
45. Or are we talking euros now or talking pounds?
Euros. That's
Well, we spend roughly 170, 180, right?
yeah, 100 and so it's
So-
like, let's say 50. So it's
So-
70. So 100 and 170 million.
Yeah, 170 million. So please, all of you reporters that call yourself entitled sports reporters, sit down, because Manchester United do have money to spend. As what we, in the beginning, when me and Jarvis did this, we started off this transfer window corner. Remember, Jarvis, we did the budget calculation and we ended up saying, oh, 250, something like that, plus, right?
Yeah.
Right. The thing is, there's money to spend. And the money is to spend for the right targets. The money's there for Ten Hag. What Ten Hag wants, they will get. That's the thing. I'm not worried. But we got to continue. Tank is in the house as well to say that was always going to spend around 200 million mark. Even more, because Tank, we also have outgoings to talk about, which incomings is one thing. Outgoings is as much as important. Jarvis, talk to me like, how proud of you, they're saying Mick was on the money inside. Nah, yeah, but you know what I do for a living, right? So yeah, that's
Well,
something.
the story of Højlund and this transfer has been very interesting to watch, because it started like, okay, he's unknown, no one knew nothing about him. He was like a clean sheet. People were talking about 35, 40 millions. Atalanta was talking about 100 millions. So we met in a little bit in the middle, but I would say Atalanta got the best of us. So Joe Congerton, he did a good job for them.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way it works. I always say that things will always end up in the middle, didn't I? Like, but depends on, like, all of a sudden you had PSG like pushing as well, and United felt pressure. I think what caved us at the way to pay more is that Erik ten Hag wanted this striker to come in as soon as possible. He want him back in training next week, basically, like, to be integrated with the team. So I always said, like, watch this space over the weekend. He's going to be a United player of the weekend because Ten Hag is pushing. Now, I don't really care if we overpaid or how much we paid. All I care about is that we're actually getting, the number one striker target that he wants, 100%. What are you laughing at? Do I have a super chat or what? Super chat, super chat, super chat. Yeah, listen, that's why you're laughing, right? Alien Tanner with another super chat. Big up to you. Thank you for donation. Saying,
no.
Mick, make Jarvis strip for you for doubting you. Yeah, do a Hugh Hefner. Yeah. Come on, we know you.
No way, you've seen enough.
You like
from my family walking in the background. No, it's not
we already
happening.
seen enough of that, right? We already seen enough. So it's interesting, but guys, at the end of the day, we shouldn't care as a fans, like, how much it's not our money. That's the thing, right? All we want to do is what I've been saying this season is to assemble a squad to compete and watch good football. That's what it is, right? So I know we have Lisa Jensen as well. So Lisa Jensen is from Denmark. I don't see if she's in the chat, but congratulations, Lisa. Now you have 2 Danish players in the team.
Yeah.
And that's a big one. We have a little bit of a group of Scandinavians there all of a sudden. We have Lindelof, we Aaron Hansen, we have now Amrabat. No, Amrabat is not Danish.
No,
It's Dutch. Yeah.
Or Morocco.
Anything else that you're wondering about? Like, because I still have to look who else is in the house here. Wow. There's so many of you. Listen, this is a party show, right? So anyone, Pappi's going to come in as well because I shared a link with Pappi. Let's see.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
well,
Jeff Steele from Australia
now. Okay, just go Mick.
Yeah, big up. You got to prioritize the Aussies as well. Like, it's probably early in the morning for them as well. Jeffy saying Højlund will fight for that badge and will be true legend of this club. 100%, Jeffy. Do you feel it? This boy is literally in love with Manchester United since childhood, since he was a toddler. He's a fan. I said it, the other day as well. Like, it is that analogy that you are the first time you saw your wife, Jarvis. You knew she was the one. You didn't want to look at anyone else. You were chasing her, right? Were you? Or was she chasing you, or you did?
No,
you did the chasing.
No.
Huh?
I did.
You did. Okay. So it didn't matter if Margot Robbie or whatever, like, Julia Roberts came. Hey, Jarvis, come to me. No. I only want her. I only want her. And that's the same thing here. I see, like, if your heart is desired for something that you really, really want, nothing else could sort of take you away. That's the thing, so true. I'm really pleased. Yeah. It's a top signing, I would say. And the thing is, I was on a previous with the Man United agenda. Big up for this, still going. Like, not to say goodbye to Solo because he's basically stepping away from the channel, pursuing another career. So it was big up for me to say, like, congratulations, because we've been collaborating a lot with the Man United agenda as well. So, and there was some salty fans in there, like, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, like, giving shit, and then, you actually signed a good signing. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's true. What concerns me about this deal is the amount, 75 million euros plus 10.
Is that official confirmed though? Because I've been off the grid.
I just read that on I think it was
Ornstein. But Ornstein
wrote it, but we don't know. But it's 70-ish. And it puts a little bit of pressure on the young kid, because we saw what happened to Anthony. He's the unfinished product. He come to us, but everybody's expecting he's a 90 million signing, and probably people will expect the same from Højlund. But we got to remember, he's not the finished product. So he will vary in his attribute and how he plays. He will have good games and he will have bad games, and that's just the way it is. He's a young player, and that's what young players do. So I'm a little bit concerned about the price, but we got to remember and give him time. We can't be too harsh in the beginning.
No,
time to develop.
No, there is some Muppets out there, like, on Twitter, that's have no patience at all. We saw it with Onana already in the first game. We saw it with Mason Mount. Like, come on, are you a fan?
Yeah, but we know what's going to happen, especially on Twitter. If he goes 3 games without scoring, they will scream 75 million signing, blah 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 blah. So
they're not real fans, are they? If they could do that, seriously, to be honest. I mean, who am I to say who is a real fan or not? But come on. You cannot criticize one player for 1 game. That's the thing, right? Given time. It's not 1999.
Yeah, but that is why it's important for us to sign a second striker.
Yeah, no,
because we need a second striker to take off the pressure of Højlund and let him develop in his own pace.
We're going to talk about that
because we can't rush it.
Yeah, Jarvis, we're going to talk about that. Guess what? Because at the end of the day, it's been contradictory reports regarding how much we're going to pay and stuff like that. It's fresh from the press. But I always said, like, 60 million, it's going to be 60 million pounds, right? So you can calculate the Manchester United had to meet in the middle, and that was 60 million pounds. Now, the add-ons really don't matter, because the add-ons is like, phantom figures, like, if you score 10 goals in Premier League or XYZ. So the real figure is 60 million. Pounds, which is leading up to approximately 70 million euros, right?
Yeah.
So we did have a budget on 60 million to spend for him. So did we overpay? No, we didn't, actually. Because here's what I've been saying all along. Like, they wanted up to 100 million, 90, 100, right? We still got it down for 60, right? And it's been a striker drought, and, people want good strikers. And watching Højlund, extensively and studying him and looking at all the stats. Even you have done that. You said it yourself. Don't expect him to come in and score like 20, 30 goals. Like, no.
Yeah, we got to be realistic about it. It's just
Hmm.
the way it is. He scored 9 goals last season for Atalanta in 32 games. So it's not fantastic numbers, but his output is almost 1 goal in every third game. So if he can do that, I think we should be happy with him.
Yeah.
1 goal in every third game. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. It's basically what Tom is saying, £60 million for a great young talent. The thing is, guys, if you noticed, like, the inflation rate on the transfer market since last season has gone up with 30%. That is amazing. Astronomical figures, like, you see now, just give you Caicedo, right? They bought him in for £5 million, right?
Yeah.
The Serbies team like Brighton, and look what they're going to sell him now for. They are squeezing Chelsea on 80 million, 90 million. It's going to end up in 100 million. And what a return on investment. You know what I mean? And we have another super chat flying in again from Peter. My God, you're on fire today. It's your wife's credit card again, right? Me next Saturday watching Rasmus. Oh, I'm so jealous. You're going to be there. Oh,
Season
God.
ticket holder.
Yeah, so big
Alien
up for
Tenno.
you, Alien Tenno. Big up for you for being season ticket holder. We also got a shout out for all the way from Serbia, Milos Mitic. Konačno Højlund, čekam Amrabat, idemo Manchester United. He says, wicked Højlund. Now I'm waiting for Amrabat. Let's go Manchester United. And that's what's going to happen. Let's talk about the next step. What do you think the next step will be? I'm just asking you, and I'm asking the panel as well.
Well, the obvious next step is Amrabat, because we need a midfielder to come in. We have 3 midfielders at the moment. That's very good, and we have Eriksen as the 4th, and McTominay and Fred. But we don't know what's going to happen with those 2 guys, if they're leaving or if they're staying. As I see it at the moment, we need 1 more midfielder, and that's Amrabat. But the second striker is also very important. Maybe even more important than Amrabat in my opinion, because we need more depth in the striker position.
I put some red poison in it. Not just joking. All right, listen. Jokes aside, let's be real. Okay, here's what's going to happen right now, and this is from credible source. We're going to speed accelerate the Amrabat deal now. Now that we got Højlund over the line. Barring also that there was the scans came back from Kobe Mainoo. I'm so heartbroken for him. Like, he's out for 2 months, and I think that Ten Hag was kind of preparing that role for Amrabat, but still, Kobe Mainoo was never going to being given like 20, 25 appearances this season. He's going to be like a typical like a Garnacho, slowly embed him, but still, I'm heartbroken that such a youngster get like that blow early in the season. But that kind of forces Erik ten Hag to even act quicker right now, to get them in, because the season starts in 3 weeks, right? So they already spoken to Amrabat's camp. They know the situation, and all of a sudden, bam, things change. And that is the transfer market. As I said, you look up in the sky, this blue sky, sunshine, you turn around, there's thunderstorms, and all of a sudden you got to act fast. So I do expect Manchester United to come in for Amrabat this week. 100% I do. And this is madness. Being Manchester United, this is, I don't know, if you tell me a transfer window in the late 6 years that you remember us being so fast.
Yeah, three signings in is it 25 days?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that's great. That's great.
It's madness.
But
Plus outs.
We still have time to do a couple of more signings. That's the thing.
I have a sneaky
3 weeks.
feeling. I have a sneaky feeling. I do have a sneaky feeling that this is not the end. There's so much things that we don't know because it's closed door with Erik ten Hag. We don't know what he's thinking. But, all of a sudden we've been also linked to this Mohamed Kudus, right? From Ajax. 1 phone call away and he'd be a Manchester United player. That's the thing. But it all depends on, we've seen Scott McTominay most likely going to West Ham. The cheeky bid for Harry Maguire as well. Fred is going 100%. Fenerbahce was also linked to Lazio. Yeah. So I think we can do 3 more signings, according to also what Tom Charlton is saying here. So we don't know. But, this is
I think the Lazio thing is gone because Sarri didn't want him. Sarri is the manager.
He went like,
manager of Chelsea used to be. He said no.
yeah, the cigarette butts Fred Hoop.
Mhm.
What?
Sorry,
What? I'm not gonna pay
I'm so
20
sorry.
million. Nah, bada bing. Yeah, give me back my bud. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a need for speed. I can't believe this is the Manchester United. That's the thing, you know.
I see Compost Murph saying we haven't sold enough players. It's
Yeah, we
basically
do.
August already. So yeah, I think you're right, Compost Murph. We should have sold more players,
They are.
but we are working on it. I think we will sell Harry Maguire now. We had one bid, but it was rejected. We have McTominay, as Mick mentioned. Fred is going. So yeah.
Henderson.
So we have players out.
Yeah. 56 likes, people. Please don't forget to like. This is your party. And if you want to come in and have a say, I will post that link here. Hang on. I'm gonna post. Come in and have you say. Dare to put on the microphone and camera and have you say, because we are willing to let you in. Should we let him in? Yes, we do.
Yes.
I just posted the link, StreamYard link, into the chat room. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. Posted. There you go. It's posted. There you go. Guys, if you want to party with us, come in, have you say 5 minutes. Oh, we have Footy Life, our own,
Big up,
Tom
Tom.
journalist. How you doing, mate? Oh, yeah. Here's Lisa Jensen, our own Danish Lisa Jensen. Congratulations to you and your country. Now you got 2 Danish players in Manchester United. We're talking about Christian Eriksen and young Rasmus Højlund. Congratulations. Big up to Tom the Truth as well. What Stephanie's saying as well. Tellis is gone as well. Don't forget, Tellis is gone. Tellis.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting how many outs we have so far, but I guess I mean, this is unprecedented. Like, you know, how many outs do we usually have in one season? 1 or 2, like, or the rest goes on loan.
Yeah. We have who do we have? We have Tellis, we have 𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌, is he gone? Did we sell him?
Who?
𝒖𝒊𝒄𝒌.
Bay. Yeah, I think so. Or I don't know. Tom, if you are listening, have we sold? Have we sold Eric Bay yet? Elanga Tellis 19 million. Yeah, Stephanie Griffin is saying that. Elanga, yes. So we have sold, and we are keep selling as well. That's the thing, right? Big up to all of you. Whew, I'm hot, really hot. I don't know. I'm speechless, Jarvis. I am absolutely speechless.
Yeah. So how do we think Højlund will affect the team? How will we play with Højlund as a striker?
Yeah, we can ask the VR room guys. Let us know how you think Højlund will impact the team. But
and what do we expect? Do we expect him to score more than 10 goals, more than 20 goals?
Oh yeah. I mean, if he played in an Atalanta team like that and coming to Manchester United when he's going to constantly get service from Onana, you're gonna play like what we've seen. Like, you know, the Tom journalist is in the house as well. He just disappeared. Jesus, he was ghosting us. So I'm gonna answer your question. Not that I have expectations, but we're gonna see goals, right? If we're gonna play like, you know, 1-3-6, that means that he's gonna be on the top of that pyramid food chain, right? So that means that he's gonna get a lot of service from Onana, from Bruno, from Mason Mount, from everyone, from Garnacho on the wing, from everyone is gonna service him. So it's kind of important that he gets into the team, like, you know, to work with the squad for the next 3 weeks to integrate, so he can understand the patterns of play. And I think he will score more than 10, maybe 15 this season. But adding on 15 goals, potentially what I heard as well, like, you know, I don't know if the rumors are true that, you know, a certain number 11 has been approved by Adidas and looks like he's going to be part of the squad. So that means that you have rotation. So he's going to lead the line. I mean, Højlund, and looks like then, you know, while Greenwood is kind of integrating back into the team again, like, you know, to be the rotational backup striker. I have no problems with that, to be honest, if we look at Manchester United. But listen, we have an honorable guest in the green room. His name is Tom. He's a journalist. Should we let him in?
Yeah.
Are you
let
sure?
Him in.
I didn't pay him yet. I owe him like 100,000 euros in invoice. Tom, would you accept the Snickers as a payment?
Listen, Mick, Jarvis,
Yes.
get your checkbooks out, lads. Come on.
Okay, okay. Jarvis, start writing. Start writing now.
The Scandinavian brothers come, hasn't it? So we can live a little.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I promise to send you, a box of Snickers later on. How you feeling, mate? You happy?
Yeah. Not bad, lads. Not bad.
You good?
Yeah. We're all good and everything. How's you folks? Good.
Well, as I said, like I had a day off today because it was my brother's birthday, so I put the foot off the gas, and all of a sudden, all shit breaks loose. Like I knew that this was coming because Manchester United was having hardcore negotiations yesterday, and I always said this is going to happen over the weekend, and lo and behold, it happened over the weekend. Happened earlier than I thought it would be because I thought it would come tomorrow, right? But apparently, here we're on. Yeah. What did you hear, by the way? Did you hear something similar as well?
Yeah, well, I was expecting it probably to be at the beginning of next week because I thought that they hadn't come to an agreement on the terms that United had bid first before, because they'd bid a €60 million package and they seem to have massively gone up straight away, which isn't what they'd done for most of the window, really. They'd negotiated the Mason Mount deal pretty well. Chelsea wanted upwards of £80 million package. They got them down to 60. Andre Onana, Inter wanted €60 million. They got them down to, I think it was €50 million in the end. So
yeah.
They have negotiated, down in terms of the clubs that they've got the players from. But with this one, it seems like they've just gone all in, really. And I don't know if that's an incentive based upon what the manager wanted, where he was insistent upon, I need a striker, and I need a number 9, and we know who our targets are. And
no, he wanted him so bad. He wanted, that was his main target, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the first person I was expecting, and I think a lot of journalists anyway were expecting to be on the plane, really, because De Gea was still the goalkeeper at the time, and Mason Mount was a target, but he wasn't being prioritised. The priority was always a number 9. So that was probably the assumption of a lot of people that was going to be the first player that he was going to bring. But
yeah. I had somebody that just popped up, was Joffa. He came and then disappeared. I saw him in the green room. Joffa, if you had something problem, please dial in and get him, because I saw you in the green room. Guys, if you want to call in, the link is in the chat description. Big up Tom as well. So listen, at the end of the day, I don't think we overpaid if we look at the striker drought on the market at the moment. And I mean, I keep saying it's like on a 25-30% inflation rate from last year's transfer market. So at the end of the day, we are not the accountants, we are not the recruitment directors. It's not our money at the end of the day. So what I care about as a fan, is that what I've been seeing now, that Ten Hag gets his number 1 target across the line, and that we get to see good football next season. I mean, this season come. That's it. That's what we should do as a fan. So we shouldn't really focus on how much money at the end of the day, because why is that our headache? It's not a headache, right? I don't know what you reckon, Tom.
I have to say I'm very glad that we didn't drag this over the line at the last day, because if the old United transfer team would have done that, but now we showed resilience. Okay, they said we said 60 million package. They said no. Okay, we raised it right away, 75 million. Boom, we got him. So I like how we move in the transfer market. It's a big change since last year.
I keep saying, you didn't believe me when I was saying that you don't feel the difference. And I had an argument with you, a lot of discussion. But now you see that my point is valid, because Manchester United under Matt Hoggers right now in the new stewardship is a total different way of how we negotiate. We're not wasting time. We're not going to overpay. If we have extra money over, because it's all a balanced scorecard sheet, you know who's going out, you know how much money you have approximately to spend. If this is the number 1 target for Erik ten Hag, striker, we know we need a striker, right? But we still didn't overpay, right? £60 million was the budget. We got him for £60 million. We met in the middle with Congerton. It was kind of a war of attrition. And there was never a first bid in. It was just a discussion, till everyone comes to an agreement, and then you go, here we go. Everyone agrees, the image rights, the personal terms, the payment structures, everyone is fat and happy, walk away, announce the deal, right? Player knew already he was going, right? Because he didn't play today. It was 0 minutes, right? He knew already. So you tell me if we're not doing different things on the market at the moment. Because if you remember, Woodward destroyed. Woodward was the one that created the Manchester United tax, didn't he, Tom?
Yeah, well, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, the inflation of players that we paid for, it was ridiculous.
If he only
Oh.
like, if you had a time machine, you would put a like, mouth gag on him, because he said like, we Manchester United, we can do whatever in like anyone. Now, what did he say? We can do what no one else can do on the market, and that was like, you just created the Manchester United tax.
Yeah, no, it's right what you said. I mean, even in saying that, we chased players for 2 windows. Some players, anyway. Jadon Sancho took 2 windows that we chased to get him, and I don't necessarily think we've signed superstars for once. I think that's one thing that we can look at in saying there's not really been a superstar signing, maybe irrespective of Casemiro potentially, and in terms of that, we've not been dragging deals out. Whereas maybe the old United would have thought, oh, well, England's #1 striker, Harry Kane's on the market. Let's see if we can get him. And it would have probably taken all summer to get a deal like Harry Kane. And that's the issue.
Tommy, I don't know if you agree with me, but as a colleague on the market as well, Manchester United had him as a #1 target. Like, they had actually Højlund and Kane, right?
Yeah, true.
But they took a step off to say, we're not going to be dragged into this, Daniel Levy war. But now they've been offering a curveball, like, basically because what's his name, the owner, Joe Lewis, pulled his pants down to say, you got to sell him, because obviously Kane's not going to sign a new contract. Bayern Munich is doing all the heavy lifting at the moment. They're flirting. I don't think his heart is set to go to Bayern. So do you see a possibility that Manchester United are kind of monitoring this now, and because, if we do have money, we will come with a cheeky bid at the end of the window? What do you reckon? Because he doesn't need a preseason, by the way.
Yeah, true. He doesn't need a preseason. And I think what you said in terms of putting maybe a cheeky bid at the end, it obviously depends around what sort of sums United get for players. And there's a lot more, I can say, loan interest in United's players with options or obligations to buy than there is actually to buy them outright. And that's the problem and the issue, as to United need to switch those obligations or options and make them permanent transfers. But like you said with Kane, if Manchester United are not monitoring, as a club like United, are not monitoring England's top, #9 at this point in time, I'd be very shocked. And from what I knew at the start of the window, they'd held talks through intermediaries with Tottenham, and Tottenham slapped £120 million for British clubs, and it was €100 million for European clubs. So just falling short of maybe the £90 million sort of mark or radar. But they still want add-ons on top of any deal. Yeah. So it would have been 120 plus XYZ.
I got a follow-up question for you, mate. If you don't mind if I ask, because Stephanie has a question for you as well. Stephanie Griffin, one of our moderators and members. The situation with Joe Lewis at the moment being indicted for insider trading and everything, does that have to do with his decision to say that you need to sell? Is he in financial trouble himself?
I don't necessarily think it's that he's in financial trouble himself, because he's a very wealthy man, an individual just on his own. But the family that he comes from is wealthy enough as it is. And I think the way that he's done it is placed the club's control in the hands of the Supporters Trust while the situation's going on with the indictment in the US. And whilst that obviously implicates him and how he could have an influence in how Spurs run, basically just take a back seat and distance yourself while you've got legal issues or obligations going on, and let the football, or the supporters in the case, take your sort of hold over the football club, essentially. So it's effectively fan / Daniel Levy ownership at this point in time, where Joe Lewis is still the owner.
He's still 70% of the ownership, right?
Yeah. He's still got the percentage, and he still owns the majority shareholding of Spurs, but he's just not influencing decisions or having a say at this point in time based upon what's going on with the indictment case. But depending
if
on
he says,
the outcome,
what he came out in the press to say, that giving the orders to Daniel Levy, that means that you have some sort of power. Then if you have 70% ownership and still saying that if he's not signing a contract, you got to sell him. I don't care to who.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I mean, at the end of the day, when you want to sign a player, it has to get signed off by the owner for funds to be released. Therefore, if you want to then sell a player, the owner has to then agree upon it, or it's their decision, it's their football club at the end of the day. So if Joe Lewis tells Daniel Levy, you need to sell Harry Kane, Daniel Levy's going to have to sell him at some point. And they don't want to, as far as I'm aware, Daniel Levy coming into the window was prepared to stick it out with Harry Kane, try the new season and see if he could persuade him to sign a new deal. From Joe Lewis's perspective, it was, if the right offer comes in, we sell him straight away this window. 12 months, you can't have England's number 9 and one of the most prized assets in the Premier League, who guarantees 25, 30 goals potentially, go for free. It's not heard of at any football club. And at the end of the day, other big players have run down their contracts who were worth maybe similar to what Harry Kane is. Paul Pogba's at a name, was done it with, brought him for upwards of £90 million and left for free.
Kylian Mbappe was trying to do that as well.
Mbappe's another, case in point. If PSG can't offload him this summer, they'll be in the same situation. They're in pretty much the same situation that Spurs are with Harry Kane.
But the thing is, the Spurs cannot do anything, or PSG cannot do anything. If the player has 1 year left on his contract, the power is pretty much with the player. They cannot choose which club you want to sell or go to. It's the player's choice. They
can as it is now, based upon they decide who we sell to. But when it comes to January, it's in Harry Kane's hands. He can pick wherever he wants. And if it's a situation, I would say anyway, it'd be foolish for them not to be at least Manchester United and maybe another big Premier League club to probably look at it, even on a free transfer.
Tom, before I go to Stephanie's question, you just woke up the line in me. What if, I'm just saying speculative, you know what I'm going to come to, right? Can you guess, can you read my mind when I'm thinking?
I'm not a mind reader.
Okay. What if he stays, Kane, and then in January say, screw you guys, I'm going to United?
I mean, he could say, screw you guys and go to Arsenal if he wanted.
Yeah.
They can't do nothing about it.
No.
So, Manchester United, I think...
We don't want that. We don't want
that. I'm not saying... I'm not advising Harry Kane to do that. Of course I'm not. But if really he looks at the Premier League landscape, the only big number 9 opportunity that guarantees Champions League football potentially, and is a club that's on the up right now, is Manchester United. That's really the only one that's in the Premier League. Yep. City was the option. And if I'm being honest, I think if he doesn't go to bed at night regretting maybe not pushing for that move more so than he did, then I'd question, his mental well-being, really.
Yeah, true. Tom, we got to move on to Stephanie Griffith because she's posted this comment. Tom, is Donny being sold or loaned to Real Sociedad? I think it was loan. Or back to Ajax.
It was a loan. Well, it's looking very likely, anyway, from Sociedad's perspective. They want a loan with an option to buy of around, I think it's 10-15 million pounds, which it comes up to, I think it's around about 20 million euros, really. But, United, when they convert it back, it'll go back to pounds and it'll go back into the kitty. But again, it's only an option. So they don't have to buy him if they want to. That's the problem.
But it's a proposal from Real.
It's a proposal. Yeah, it is a proposal. Yeah, it's on the table. But again, Manchester United are looking at selling players, not loaning. That's the problem.
We're not Library FC. Forget about that. No, but if I have a personal opinion regarding Donny, because I'm the guardian of Donny. You know what I mean? Guardian of the Galaxy. I think what would be best for Donny van de Beek is if that we kind of don't sell him, but loan him out to Ajax. Back to the same system. To play football, right, for 1 year, and then just build up your confidence, build up your motor skills again, your abilities, your skills, and then come back, right? That's what I love to see. And on the other hand, we do have an option to say, well, give us what's his name, Mohamed Kudus, and we will loan you Donny. That could be done, right? Midfielder, it's a player like for like player. Yeah, and I don't think
it's so very difficult.
I wouldn't call a swap deal. I would call Mohamed Kudus to us, and we loan you Donny, right, with an option to buy. Just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it's a good I guess theory, but based upon how Ajax have run business, and there isn't that Edwin van der Sar connection anymore, so there might not be that sort of allegiance towards Manchester United as there had been previously with selling players to United, letting the coach go to United and so forth. But again, I think from what I know anyway, with the Sandra Martinez deal and even the Jonny van der Beek deal at the time, Man United and Ajax have always had good relations. And I said the same thing with, that's when the links were coming out with Andre Onana, and I said, if United pursue that deal, it's going to be probably a cakewalk, really, because both clubs have good relations from Romelu Lukaku deal. So, I mean, with Donny, it's difficult because Fred, I think, is very likely to leave, and I think he will leave, if I'm being honest. Galatasaray, Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in him, Fulham as well, and there'll be more Premier League clubs that might come out of the woodwork in the end.
You reckon Harry will leave as well, and Scotty Mac?
I don't know, though. But Maguire's interesting because West Ham, they want him, but they want him for a cut price deal. They don't. They're not paying £40 million or 50 that United are looking at. They want a cut price deal, and it's not based upon him as a player because they like Harry Maguire as a player, but the wages that he would demand is what's shriveling the deal up. Not so much the evaluation, but what he would have to be prepared to drop down to. And the feeling within Harry Kane's sort of inner circle is, Harry Maguire's inner circle is that he wants to fight for his place. So
you gotta fight
for your right.
But that's delusional, FC, and that your player agent has to tell you, like, if you've been stripped out of your captaincy, you're bringing in a Johnny Evans. What's that telling you? They sit down with them to say, you're a surplus for requirements. Please find another club. And then, of course, as an agent, you're going to say, well, how much are you going to pay us out for? Like, it's either that or you're going to, be forced sitting on the bench and then missing out the Euros. So I'm looking at from the player's perspective. And, yeah, I understand that Moises did a cheeky, went behind the kitchen door and offered a poking 20. But that's because they know that we are desperate to get rid of him, right? But that doesn't mean, that... it's not our money at the end of the day, but wait a minute, he's a captain, he's a England cap, he's captaincy of Manchester United for 3 years. Come on, he's worth more than 20, right? So if you really want him, I think 30 million, 35 upwards would be the right price. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they'd probably, if I'm being honest, if both clubs sat down at the table and they actually did it properly rather than just chucking wild bids or set wild evaluations. If they've done what United had done in terms of buying players to sell Harry Maguire and properly sit down and say, look, Harry Maguire is not our captain anymore. We are open to a sale of him. And if Harry's interested in moving on in his career, which, as I say, if he's looking to fight for his place, it probably puts that into doubt. But a little nudge in the direction of it helps the club out, but also it helps his career out maybe with England. Because that conversation will need to be had, I think, from Gareth Southgate, if it hasn't already happened. But I think meeting in the middle at around £30 million, I think United would do that. And West Ham, really, if they want Harry Maguire as much as I'm hearing that they say that they do, I think they'll do the same thing.
We have a super chat here from Alien Tenno again. Big up. Seriously, send Maguire to Athens. He serves his time there. That was a cheeky below the belt, Peter. That deserves a big one for you. Where's my hunky horn? Listen, I would just give you applause because that was a super. Listen, let's move on and talk about a very sensitive topic. But we got to talk about it. You know what I'm deluding to. Number 11, Tom, we're talking about Mason Greenwood. And is it true what was reported in the Sun? I mean, sometimes when it comes from the Sun, they say take it when the sun don't shine. A little bit of salt, but it's been retweeted by Athletic and retweeted by many people that Adidas sort of are okay. They approved, for him to be in the squad. There's been several meetings. Do you reckon he's going to be in the squad? I mean, what are you been hearing?
I think based upon that, United haven't had an offer come in terms of a loan or even just buy him outright for a cheap deal. There was interest from Turkey. That a couple of Italian clubs had been interested, but none of them have followed up on the interest. And again, United know the potential of the player before, so there's a divide within the club, from what I've heard anyway, is that the commercial side are completely against it. And they've spoken to, obviously, sponsorship partners. And in terms of what you said about the Adidas sort of rumours and everything, I don't think that's true anyway. I don't have any information based upon that, but I'd be I think the conversation will be had, but to the point where Adidas, oh yeah, it's fine, no worries, you know, it's absolutely fine. When their big sporting rival Nike pulled him as a sponsor as soon as even just an allegation happened, that was before the videotape or any photos was released. They pulled him as soon as they heard the word allegations next to his name. So
I just find it bizarre.
Situation.
I just find it bizarre because I know when as soon as it comes from the Sun, you go like, "Oh yeah, this is the Sun." But then I see other journalists are co-tweeting it or retweeting it. So there's got to be something in it in that case.
The commercial side of the club, though, as I say, from what I've heard, anyways, that they are against the bringing him back. So if you like the Richard Arnold side of the boardroom, they don't believe it's good commercial to bring Mason Greenwood back, and they think it's a risk based upon that the player's not played for upwards of 18 months as well. So you don't actually know what you're even bringing back.
Yeah, and then you got to listen to what the gaffer wants. Like
there you go, and the gaffer in terms of Erik ten Hag, he likes Mason Greenwood as a player, and he thinks even after the allegations and everything that's pursued with the case against him, he still believes in that there's a player's personal life, but there's also a footballing career. And Mason Greenwood can have a footballing career, irrespective of what's actually happened, but it depends on whether people can swallow and stomach it in terms of what's actually happened.
Yeah.
And listen, we can all have our personal opinions.
Yeah, of course. I'm not. Realist channel is not here to point fingers at anyone, but you can't hide from it. You know, you can't sweep it under the rug, like, you know. And what Elianteno is saying, Greenwood, no charge, move on, like, you know. And that is the current situation. That is absolutely the truth. But he's saying, like, you know, we cannot hide from the truth, no matter what, right? He just became a father. I'm going to defend him on that one. Just have a baby. They're moving forward in life. But what I'm saying is there needs to be some form of clarity. And currently with the takeover and with the transfer window and adding on the Mason Greenwood situation to everything, it's too much for the fan base. So baby steps, right? So there's even reports coming out from Sky Kyber was saying that what we've been saying all along now, it's the announcement of the sales takeover will most likely happen after the transfer window, because they don't really want to upset the transfer market at the moment. Because if you're sort of saying that we have new owners, then people know that you have new money. Our strategy right now is not to overpay. It's pretty much to say we are a poor, broken club. You get my point?
Yeah. I mean, the rumours of £120 million FFP seem to have blown up in smoke.
You know what FFP stands for?
What was 100? Go on. What does it stand for?
What was it? Fake financial predictions or something? Fake financial predictions doesn't really exist.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't really exist. No, it only exists when you have major breaches, or in some football clubs' cases, the books don't add up. I guess that's the only way that it really implies against any club. But in saying that, I think FFP probably needs to be relooked at by the Premier League, because the way that Saudi Arabia are moving at the moment, they are only on the experienced players. It's not going to be long before they're going to go for youngsters in United's academy. True. Like, listen, a Saudi Arabian club could go to Kobe Mainoo, for example, a young prospect at United, and say, here's £5 million per year to come and play in Saudi Arabia as a young player. And I
got a question. I got a very serious question. I'm playing the devil's advocate, people, because I see the chat room has split opinions. Would you stop supporting Manchester United if Mason Greenwood would come back and play? Then you press 1. If you don't mind, say you don't mind, you press 2. That is a valid. That is fair to say, isn't it? Right?
Let's do a poll.
Greenwood,
yes or no, 1 or 2.
Would you walk away from Manchester United if he plays? I don't think you would. Honest to God. We're talking about a human being here, like, you know. I don't know. I just reacting on the back of the Dele Alli situation, the story. Who are we to understand? Who are we to cuss the stuff? We don't really know what went on, you know. We heard some snippets of it. We saw some pictures. I don't know if it's fake or not. I'm not the one to tell, but the judge and jury was telling it, and he's obviously all allegations been dropped, and I don't know. I see him as a football player, not as a person. It's not my business to pry. That's what I'm saying. I would back him, right? I would, you know, I'm Manchester United through and through. I support the club. That's the thing. I'm not a player FC, and that's why I'm saying if you're choosing to walk away not to support Manchester United, I seriously think you're supporting the wrong team. That's what I'm saying. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but
There's a lot of twos in the chat, to be honest.
What's 2 stands for? What did I say?
2 is no, you won't walk away.
you won't walk
Yeah,
away. You'll still support.
You want to
the
walk
club.
away. You're a Manchester United supporter. Yes, thing. So there's been a lot of this creating. I don't know what I want to say. Like, creating a necessary divide. At the end of the day, like, I always say support a team for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? There's far more people that have been doing robbery, murder, and stuff like still playing football, right? It just happened to a young kid.
Mick, I have a question for Tom. I just want to pick his brain while he's on the show as a guest. So, Tom, now we have signed 3 players, and we have 3 weeks left, and we are kind of building a squad at the moment. So, my question is, where do we move on from now, and what do you predict will happen in the last 3 weeks of the window?
I think you'll have an influx of sales of players, and reasonably, I think if any, well, really, 3 midfielders that are up for sale are Donny van de Beek, Scott McTominay, and Fred. Nobody really has a safe place in the midfield, barring Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, really, out of the players from last season in Eriksen. I think I've always really said that 2 of the 3 go, you have to bring one in as a minimum, really. Kobbie Mainoo could have made up one of those other 2 numbers if you want to give him some chances. So there would have been maybe 2 midfielders bringing back into the team. And I think Fred, like I say, Fred, I'd be surprised if he doesn't leave to Saudi Arabia, Galatasaray somewhere. I think you can get a decent chunk of money out of him. Van de Beek, again, it depends because clubs are offering loans, so it's not obligation to buy or buy outright as it speaks now. And Scott McTominay, again, 45 million pound valuation by United. It depends again on what other clubs want to do. That's why I say with West Ham, I think out of Maguire and McTominay, I think they'd only pursue one or the other. I don't think they'd go for both. And I think really it depends on who they sell and for how much. But
for me, McTominay is the most profitable one to sell because we're not losing out any money.
No, you're not losing any money, and of course,
he's an academy player. That's the thing.
Academy player, and anything that you make from him goes straight onto the books and clears some of the, well, as you call it anyway, fake financial rules or whatever you call it. So it clears some
fake
of that up.
Financial predictions.
Fake financial predictions. There we go. It clears some of it up anyway for United. But then, in saying that, at the same time as selling players, I think they will still speak to Fiorentina for Sofyan Amrabat, and there had been murmurs that they had talks through intermediary. United know the evaluation for Amrabat. That's the thing that I definitely know. They know the evaluation, and I think really it's reasonable based upon a player who had a Spark Up World Cup and I wouldn't say an amazing end to the last season with Fiorentina, but he had a decent season, and he's better than really what you've got in midfield right now. So,
he's an upgrade on Fred and McTominay together, according to my opinion. No, you're absolutely right, because I'm speaking to the agency camp as well regarding him, and it's always been the case that they are kind of waiting in the helms. Everything, he's been rejected. Liverpool has been rejected. All offers. Fiorentina don't see him as a plan. They already found a replacement for him. So they're just waiting because he's been told, like, as soon as we finish off this Højlund situation, we're going to come to you. And now that Kobbie Mainoo is kind of out for 2 months, I see this being speed up all of a sudden. So I don't know if you heard anything else, but that was the latest what I heard.
No, and as I say again, Kobbie Mainoo was a player that Erik ten Hag had planned to be one of his midfielders on the bench this season. That was the plan.
Still is.
Yeah, but still is. Yeah, but he won't play the first portion of the season. It's looking very likely he might be out for upwards of 6 to 8 weeks, which is a bit of a blow for the kid. You have to admit in saying that, and obviously coming back as well, he's going to need time to recover and things like that and get back into the swing of things. But again, you sell Fred, McTominay or Donny van de Beek, I think you've got to at least bring one in, and Amrabat's the name that's sticking at the moment, and if anything, it's a player that obviously Ten Hag's worked with before at Utrecht. So it ticks one of Ten Hag's lists of, have you played with me before? And right, do I know you? Are you Dutch? Right, yeah, we'll bring you in then.
I agree and I agree here with the Alien Tenor is saying, one of our contributors.
It's an easy. I think with the Amrabat,
it's an easy one.
It's an easy deal to do because of the valuation. That's the thing.
Very
And so long as United don't try and be cheeky and I don't know, try and pay 15 million and bump the rest on add-ons,
they've been negotiating and they tried, like, you know, they've been 2 to 5 million apart.
I mean, you've already got half the figure already from Anthony Elanga, so
yeah. So I see this happening this week very, very fast. They already been discussing negotiating the fee. Personal terms not a problem with the player. He's agreed the terms and everything. So for me, it's just about getting that over the line. You know, 12 months left on his contract. His value on the market is about 30 million euros. With 12 months left on his contract, Manchester United will most likely throw in a 25 plus 5 add-ons. Or they will just pay up to 30. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you could do, like you said, the 25 with the 5 add-ons. And add-ons, really, nowadays, it depends on what you actually do. It depends if you want to use them as easy add-ons or hard add-ons.
Yeah.
And it depends.
How many Big Macs are going to chuck in 1 year? Like, you know, 100, 120? Would it be extra upgrade large fries for that, sir? You want fries for that? We'll see. So in terms of Mohamed Kudus, though, there was something that came out in the paper. Paper talk, right? Is it paper talk or is it? I know that he's on the list, though, but how serious is it?
It's not a priority target, if I'm being honest.
It's not. No.
He's a player that Erik ten Hag values highly, and even before ten Hag was coming in, he was a player that United's scouting department had been monitoring, as well as Rasmus Højlund. When before he even moved to Atalanta, they were still looking at him. So United do track a lot of players in world football, and in saying that, again, it comes ultimately down to what you really want to see, as with Ten Hag. He wants the profile of players that suit the way that he wants to transform the team. So going forward, again, it's dependent. And with Kudus, I think really because of the interest that Chelsea have in him, and Arsenal are still there or thereabouts as well. I mean, if Ten Hag was... Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Tom, you got done. Are you on Viagra, mate? Thank God it's a Friday chill, sorry. Big up Alien Tenor for spotting that. But mate, we got a bent as well. I hope you didn't. No offense taken, Tom.
No
right?
offense taken. No.
Good stuff.
No. I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah. I have a thought. What if we sell Fred, McTominay, and Donny, and we only sign Amrabat, and we keep Hannibal and Mainu as the three backups? Would that be suitable for Ten Hag?
I think so. I think based upon that he's took with Hannibal and Kobe Mainu was really his main 2 midfielders on the tour, and Jesus Christ. Maybe that's why the price rocketed up, guys. You never know.
Yeah, there was stiff competition. Did I say that too? Oh my God, cut! Oh my God, I have that. That was fun. You guys are mad, seriously. Oof. Yeah. So yeah, where were we?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think Ten Hag would go with that if we could have 2 youngsters, 2 academy players, and Amrabat, because we have so much experience in Eriksen and in Bruno and in Casemiro, and I think that will suit us, because then we have a good mix of youth and experience.
Yeah, it is, and this is something that I mentioned in a couple of streams ago. I see this being the case, that Ten Hag is kind of looking at like the class of '92 to sort of embed the players, and everyone needs to go for dinner, I guess, as well. So it's time to go, I guess. So listen, big up. This was a party. Thanks, Tom, for calling in. I know that Jarvis needs to go. But I think next what we can expect is an Amrabat. I'm tired. Amrabat over the door, and we will see what's next. I mean, will we get more signings, guys? Hijack Caicedo, potentially, because, hey, Chelsea can get over the line. We know that Bowley has a hard... I almost said it. Should we provide some stiff competition there as well, Jarvis?
We can try.
We can try. Listen, guys,
try.
big up.
So-
we can just...
What am I having for dinner?
Guys, guess what Jarvis having for dinner before we close the shop? I start with you, Tom. What do you reckon he's going to have for dinner?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I can
I don't
say
know.
it's from the sea.
Oh, right.
See,
Actually, that doesn't help matters, does it?
calamari.
Nah,
Bit of salmon, maybe.
it's seafood.
Bass. Sea bass.
Sea bass.
Nah, no,
You're gonna have a shark.
no. King crab.
Oh, king crabs.
Ah.
King crab.
Ooh.
Have you ever tried king crab with butter? Mm. Oh,
Have you ever had crabs before? God damn it, God. It's getting late here. Lobsters, people saying crocodile. Yeah, he's gonna have crocodile. Yeah, Jarvis and his crabs. You open up the door with big whopper. Big whopper. Guys, you're going down. Listen, juicy chicken breast. Yeah. And 65 plus, you shitload of Viagra. Guys, with that finished note, Football Power just came in just before we was busted. Oh, yeah, I can see him. He disappeared. We better let Pappi in before we ended the stream, right?
Pappi can take over from me because now I have to go. My king crab is ready. So king show people.
Big ups.
Big up,
Please, guys,
Jarvis.
smash a like before you leave Jarvis as well. Smash a like for
people. Smash.
Jarvis's crabs. Please wash your
Okay.
fingers afterwards because it's gonna smell, yeah?
Have a good
Lemon.
one.
You too. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah. Bye.
Hard on sex cell. Guys. Big up for Jarvis. Hey, Tom. Honest to God, like, you know, I'm just I can't believe this is the United we're seeing right now, how we're moving on the market, like, you know, in terms of, I believe there's going to be a few outs as well, like, you know. Can you remember last time we had more than 3 outs, to be honest?
Not really, no.
Not really.
Not really. I can't really remember. I mean, even when we've brought players in, we've always taken shed loads of time and overpaid on players. If you're going to take your time, I expect you to get a good deal. That's the thing that I say. But if you want something quick and fast, you've got to pay top dollar, unfortunately. And even with what we've seen with the Højlund sort of numbers that are being, you know, thrown around at the end of the day, and I think at the end of the day, in today's market, you know, this summer is not a place to buy a striker. It's not, because the valuations to get a top number 9, you need 100 million easily.
100 million. That's the thing. That's the thing. And 60 million pounds, and it's not enough. I mean, that's not much. I mean, if you're looking at the striker market, you know, they're quoting silly money for Osimhen, 150 million euros. Mbappe is going to go for 200 minimum. You know what? I mean, this excites me because for some reason, like, you know, a Højlund is somebody that will be within 5 years' time will be a top world-class striker potentially, right? He's got the attributes already. You know, 20 years old. Like, you know, if you look at his career trajectory, like, you know, he's only have 3 years of senior football, but every year he's gone from club to club to club, and it's a record now. On the I think this is his 4th season now, going already to United, from Copenhagen to Graz, Sturm Graz, to play 1/4 of a season in Serie A, and now United. So big up. We got a fantastic talent. He's 20, 100%. He's 20. He is 20 years of age. But you know what? What do we say? If you're good enough, you're old enough, right?
True.
I think what Pappi was trying to call in from a mobile phone, he's been dipping in and out. It's pissing down the rain right now, and I got to take my dog out for some reason. But listen, guys, I'm not going to wait for Pappi, crabs as side dishes. Move. God, we opened up the pearl door to heaven here, like, you know, with king crabs and everything else. Big up to all of you, crazy community. Good to see you calling in as well, Tom. So what's the plans for the weekend? Are you going to have a weekend, or now you can chill and relax when, you know, it's a here we go?
Yeah, no, we're just chilling for a weekend. Going to have a nice bit of food. and have a couple of beers and everything, and yeah, just chill.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm also gonna chill. I'm thinking I need a little bit of a break as well, because the transfer window is so hectic, right? And I sleep after the window is closed, I guess. But you know, today I was just planning to take it easy. It's my brother's birthday, blah blah blah. But shit, all this happened. So anyway, big up to all of you. This is an extra special for the community. Everyone that's tuned in, pat yourself on the back. We got the target over the line. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You know where the button is. If you forgot how to like things, if you want to burn extra calories, do so. It's so easy. You know, it's down there. All you can do is just and press, and we can be up to 100 likes. Thank you, Tom, for coming in. Thank you for having your say. And guess what? Have a lovely weekend, my friend. You deserve it as well. You work so hard as well, man. Big up. Yeah. Say hello to Nuruddin and everyone else, and you know, and yeah, say hello to your family. Enjoy your beers.
Yeah, we'll do, Mick, anyway. Yeah,
wicked, man.
Great chatting, guys. As always, man. Yeah.
Great chatting. Big up. We always say here, peace, love, go banana. But now we signed Onana, so it's peace, love, Onana. Listen, this has been Mick Ruby here, having my say. Tom jumped in, having his say. Jarvis had to say, and hopefully we made your day, people. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out. Peace. See you later. That's all, folks. Good night.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.